Cheetah chasing jackal. I think they've just escaped. Sorry to rush you across from Taylor. There we go. There's the jackals yelping and alarm calling. Listen to this. They're screaming. Oh, this is incredible. Scavengers following the cheetah. Oh, you are being so brave, little jackal. Goading the young male. Just goes to show you never know what's going to happen. Oh, when you are on a live safari, cheetah jumping backwards and forwards. This jackal trying to, I think, protect a youngster, because this is an amazing show of bravery from this little jackal. Oh gosh, careful. Look at the speed. There's a good chance that this cheetah could actually catch this jackal. It was very brave of the jackal to start with. Oh, I think it's got away. Hidden behind the trees. Let's just see if the cheetah comes back out. Absolutely phenomenal. Racing after it. So there are two jackal here. Oh, absolutely extraordinary. Now, for those of you watching and interacting with us on Twitter, now's your opportunity to share your reactions to the incredible sighting that we've just had. Hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. One word to describe that sighting. Mine's going to be heart-stopping. I really was afraid for that jackal for 1 second. It didn't really do anything wrong except follow the cheetah, and they got irritated with it. Young males are unpredictable at best. Shall we get a little bit closer just to see if we can still see where the jackal have gone? I don't know where Malika went. I saw her two boys. I think she went running after them. Natural instinct to chase something. That's why for Scott and Steph out on foot in the bush, it's always important that they remember not to run anywhere. Big cats chase running things. We're just going to stop here quickly so I can get a lay of the land and so that we don't disturb the cheetah in any way, and then we can answer the question that's come through. So there we go, there's our cheetah. Taylor, you want to know why cheetahs' tails are so long. Did you see how that jackaled? Oh, sorry, Kayla, my apologies, I misheard. Now, Kayla, you want to know why cheetahs' tails are so long. You saw that jackal ducked and dived and went from side to side. Now, imagine the cheetah running at around about 70 miles per hour and having to change direction. Now that tail acts as the perfect balance. It's a rudder almost to help to counterbalance their changes of direction. Now, of course, these cheetah are perfectly specialized in the way in which they hunt. They are built for speed and not for stamina. We've discussed a little bit about it, and of course Taylor's on the search for Tundi. Let's go and learn a little bit more about the differences between the two spotted cats of Africa.
The ultimate triple threat versus an iconic specialist. One built for stealth, power, and ambush. The other designed for speed. The cheetah is decorated with black spots. The leopard with copper rosettes. The leopard, a stalking cat of the woodlands. The cheetah, a coursing cat of the plains. While leopards are strong and agile enough to hoist their kills away from thieving lions and hyenas, cheetahs are built exclusively for speed. They lack the strength to stash their kills or fight off scavengers. And while leopards live alone, cheetahs often find comfort in the company and protection of siblings. Each cat is the master of their domain and holds a special place atop the African food chain.
And And you are back live with me, Stef Winterboer, out here in the Kruger National Park on foot. And we have a leopard track to show you after this fantastic comparison between two of the most iconic of Africa's great cats. The most noticeable difference between the leopard track and the cheetah track is the absence of claws. You can see that there's no round indentation at the end of the toes, and that is because the leopard has retractable claws. The cheetah has claws that are semi-retractable, so they stick out like fingernails, like running spikes, and the cheetah uses it to dig into the ground to get traction, whereas the leopard uses their retractable, recurved claws to catch and hold prey. Now this particular leopard walked down the road, came through here, and then came and urinated on the bush, and there's a little spot of its urine right there. That is one of the most, also another one of those iconic smells. Leopard urine smells like hot buttered popcorn, and that I can then smell for the rest of this safari. Oh yeah, it's not good smelling leopard pee, but in this particular case it is. Alright, we're going to be sending you the distance between Canada and Mexico all the way north to Kenya, where Taylor is sitting with those lovely Angamas.
Look at this young male lion just walking through the grass. Now the lioness have actually spotted something, and they're off ahead of some of the youngsters, and there's a couple more that I think are going to come charging out onto this two-track. They seem to be playing about. Some of the older cubs are very excited. There they are, just hanging back, showing the adults that they don't need mom and dad around. Now, Bill, you're wondering if big cats will hunt other big cats? No, not necessarily. So they aren't cannibalistic, like, for example, hyenas, where they'll eat their own kind. They tend to prefer to just eat, well, antelope and anything like that. Now, I think out of pure desperation, something like that could happen. I've never seen a lion eating another lion. What they do though is they will chase and they will kill hyenas like that. Even that jackal that you saw with Jamie, they will also chase and kill them because they can be a bit of a nuisance around the carcasses sometimes. But other than that, they'll go after other things. Look at them go! Or playing around this morning. Now these are just the youngsters that we're looking at, and they're marching straight towards us, following in the adults' footsteps, but are a little bit behind the lionesses, the 4 lionesses of the Angama pride. And now they're going to try and climb some trees. Right, you're going to go off for a very short break, but don't go too far. The lionesses have spotted something in the distance. Hopefully they'll catch it. This is Safari Live. Hello, regular viewers. Whew. How crazy is this? I just want to do a bit of repositioning. Manu, I just want to quickly reposition because I've basically put my hand out and stopped. I did one of those. Whoa! As we were about to go live, they were wanting to come in front of us and cut our shot off, so it was quite cool. I didn't know I had so much authority. So our lions have been quite cool. The lionesses have gone up ahead. We're going to turn around, actually. We're going to go for those lionesses. I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to do them. Where's my mic pack gone? See, now all the wheels are falling off. The lionesses have gone down there. Now I'm going to do a 500-point turn, and I'm just trying to figure out, Manu and I are trying to work out where on earth we're going to catch these girls again. The cubs are hilarious because they're climbing trees and stuff, and it's a lot of fun. But if we can see these girls hunt again for a second time, that would be absolutely amazing. Sorry. Hi. Can't talk. Not today. I spend most of my time chatting away to people anyway, so we'll just wave and be polite. Okay. So let's race around. How's everyone enjoying the show? Is it fantastic? Are we all doing a great job, or do we need to be whipped after the show? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. I wonder, there's lots of warthog burrows here, so it could be quite cool. Although they seem to be going towards a herd of elephants, which is a little bit on the brave side for the lions. I'll show you quickly, and then I'm gonna shoe marker my way around. Look at them. Now, they've been chased by elephants the entire evening as well. There they are. Okay, Manu, are you ready to race around? I think let's do that before we have to TV back, recap. Let's go. I'm trying to figure out how far away it is. I think it's a little bit further, but maybe we'll get lucky. They actually seem to be traveling quite quickly, although Manu, this is quite nice, eh? Okay, we're gonna sit here with these, I think with these lions. I might just sit and see how this plays out, if they're gonna go towards those elephants. However, Noelle has got a Birmingham boy.
I do, in fact, have a Birmingham boy. I actually have 2 Birmingham boys and the whole Styx Pride. Now, they're spread out quite a bit, so I've decided to sit with this one male, and you can just barely see another male in the corner there, but it's not the best. Good morning, good morning. It's so exciting. I hope you all are enjoying our show so far. It's been an absolutely amazing time. We're going to go back to TV shortly. I can't wait, but it's good to see all of you on the YouTube. Okay, so now you guys would know the Birminghams were born in 2013, early 2013, so they're going to be 6 years old soon. Now, there are 4 Birminghams in total, but 2 of them are not currently here, and they have fat bellies, so they've definitely killed something, and it was something big. So in the past 2 days, they've killed a full-grown kudu, and then I'm not quite sure what else they've killed here. We're going to have to wait and see. And of course, now he's getting sleepy. There were some birds moving around and some monkeys moving around that caught his attention a little bit. And the large females, when we do manage to move over there, the large females and the youngsters are also very full. The youngsters are slightly playful, but everyone's pretty sleepy for the moment. But that doesn't mean that nothing could happen. We all know well enough that anything could happen at any time. Just busy digesting his food. There, his eyes have opened a little bit for us. Now, let's see if we can try and get at least a small view of our other male just here. There's his fat belly for you, but that's about all we have. So I think we'll head back to the other one. Senzo. Welcome back live, and we are sitting in the Sabi Sands in South Africa with a pride of lions. This is one of the beautiful Birmingham males that you're looking at now. This is a coalition of 4 males. His brother is just in front of me here. There's only the 2 males at the moment. And then the whole pride is just to the back here. I am Noelle van Moden, and it's very good to have you back with me. So the pride that is with these 2 males is one of their prides. It's the Styx Pride. It is not the pride we were looking for earlier. The Nkuhumas have gone into an area where I cannot go, and so we've managed to get down here, not far from where James was with his wild dogs, to these very fat, very lazy lions. Now, they've eaten something large. You can see the bellies are full. So basically what they're doing now is they're just trying to digest the meal that they had. Now, I'm not quite sure what they've eaten. I can't see a crime scene anywhere or a carcass anywhere, but I will keep a lookout. Kirk, very interesting question. You're asking, can more than one male lion run the pride? Now, Kirk, first off, the females run the pride. They just let the males think that they run the pride. And the way that it works with coalitions is sometimes you'll have one male in a territory, one male lion. Sometimes you'll have 2 male lions. Sometimes you'll have a coalition of males that's above 6 or 7, maybe even 10, just depending. Usually the coalitions are related males. So these 4 Birmingham males, 2 of which what we have here, are from the same litter, and they mate with everybody. So the males will take turns mating with the females, and they'll have multiple prides. Now, while we're sitting here waiting for a little bit of action from our coalition males, let's go through and see these magical moments we've put together of what it's like to be in a male coalition.
For male lions, the comforts of the pride do not last long. When they reach adolescence, the dominant males in the pride force them out. The dejected youth may then look to join another coalition. A test of strength is how he earns his spot. While brothers removed from the same pride, their battles are for mating rights. But this endless cycle of conflict and resolution has purpose. It is natural selection in its purest form. Only the strong will survive. Often coalition members spend extended periods alone. Coalition territories are vast and require a huge effort to patrol and protect. Each regal cat must stay vigilant to ensure his bloodline.
Well, wasn't that incredible? Welcome back live onto the vehicle. You got to see a little bit how male lion coalitions work. Now, the only other big cat that has coalitions of males is, of course, cheetah. And like lions, they are not always related. This coalition of 5, until the genetic studies are in, we're not actually sure how related they are, whether 2 are related or 3 are related. We know one comes all the way from the Serengeti. To see, this is the largest ever recorded coalition of male cheetah. Lions sometimes can have coalitions of 8, but they don't normally last too long. Now, they've had a little break now. They've walked through this thicket. They actually managed to catch a tiny little scrub hare, which is like a little rabbit, but that went gone. My name is Brent Leo Smith, in case you've just joined us, and we are live during Big Cat Week in the Masai Mara at the moment with a coalition of 5 male cheetah. Now, I think they're going to get a little bit lazy now. They look like they're going to bask in the sun for a little bit, and we'll see what they're going to do. Hello, Wayne. Wayne is wondering, what is a cheetah's speed? Well, they're the fastest land mammal, Wayne, and they can reach up to about 17 miles an hour, which is just over 100 kilometers an hour. So incredibly quick. There is some disagreement now about how fast they can go. They're thinking that some of those times that were made with bad equipment, so it's possible that they're probably a bit slower, about 60 miles an hour, but it's still incredibly fast. Now, as I said, I don't think these cheetah are going to get up too much. I heard, or last night, there was a leopard not too far away from here, so I'm going to leave it up to you since this is your safari. Hashtag Safari Live. Would you like me to stay with a cheetah or go look for a leopard? It's up to you, but in the meantime, as I say, we're going to jet all the way to South Africa, but this time we're going to jet straight into the sky.
So we find ourselves here, of course, in the 8.5 million acre Greater Kruger National Park. Magnificent piece of ground this is, and that, of course, juxtaposed with the Mara Serengeti ecosystem up in East Africa, which is roughly the same size. Now, you can probably see a couple of little white dots in the middle of some sticks. Those are goose eggs in the middle of a red-billed buffalo weaver's nest, which in turn is in the middle of the Chitwa waterhole, where we very happily find ourselves now, breathing out, of course, after those wild dogs. Now, I promised you that I would show you this thing earlier and why it was on the front of the car. My name is James Hendry. This is not James Hendry. This was Walter the waterbuck, and he was killed by lions. You can see his nose was bitten off there. Not a very nice way to go. Hope that I don't go that one day. Right, we're going to play a game called Where Am I? You know where I am because I've told you I'm in South Africa, but you don't know where the following waterbuck that you're going to see is. Now, what you need to do is decide whether that waterbuck is in South Africa or whether it is in Kenya. And you can do that by looking at its surroundings and making an educated guess. There are two different kinds of waterbucks. We get the Defassa waterbuck up in the East African regions, and down here we get a sort of bog standard southern waterbuck, I suppose you would call it. Now, how you answer this question or how you play the game is to hashtag Safari Live and then hashtag Kenya or hashtag South Africa, depending on where you think that waterbuck is. So that's hashtag Safari Live, hashtag Kenya or hashtag South Africa. That is a lot of hashtags, I'm sure you'll agree. Then just behind me, we've got a tiny little hippopotamus there that is just hiding in the water. We'll hope that it comes out a little bit later. In the meantime, let's go back to something that likes to eat baby hippopotamus all the way up in the Mara Triangle of the Maasai Serengeti ecosystem.
We've got our cats with their heads above the grass and they're on the move. They're scanning around. You can see, look how she's looking left to right, ears pricked forward. She's either hoping she's going to spot something or hear something. And there isn't much of a breeze this morning. You can see the grass is just moving around a little bit, which is not good news for the lions. It means that they're going to have to work exceptionally hard. My name is Taylor McCurdy, and for those of you that have just joined us, welcome. And you've basically just arrived on the largest safari vehicle in the entire world. And if you are excited and you've never seen lions in the wild before, then you can ask me a question about these lions. You can hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. Now, even without the wind, look how camouflaged she is. Now, Amberly, you're wondering out of which of the cats, which ones have the best vision? Well, that's a tricky one because the cheetah have got phenomenal eyesight. Remember, they're following their prey at top speeds, whereas the lions don't have to focus on a fast-moving subject like that, like a cheetah does. So I would go with a cheetah. However, lions are specialists at hunting in darkness, so their eyesight at night is also phenomenal, as well as the leopards too. All three of the big cats have got very, very acute senses, hearing, eyesight, and sense of smell, in order to have the best opportunity to catch their prey. Now, we're going to follow these lions. We're actually sitting tight now in case they chase something up from the grass. So we'll call you back if anything exciting happens. Jamie's cheetah are also on the move, and anything could happen at any second.
Taylor is absolutely correct. You just saw what happened with the young males and the brave jackal. And when we asked about that, we spoke about whether or not we could describe that particular sighting in one word. But before we get down to the answers, my name is Jamie Patterson, and we've been sitting with 10-year-old Malaika and her two teenage boys, 18 months old or so. Right, so Malaika is gone. Where'd she go? Oh, there she is. Malaika is not gone. She's simply lying down. And it's amazing how their camouflage disappeared. Now, Sally, your one word that I asked you to send through was harrowing. And I think that is a very, very good description for what happened to that poor jackal. It was a truly harrowing experience. Now, Malaika's resting at the moment, but the reason that we're sitting where we are, and thank you, by the way, for sending through your one-word tweets, is to wait and see whether or not she goes after the herd of impala and zebra that are off to my left on the other side of the ridge. I've known, the very first time actually I ever saw Malaika, she was hunting a herd of zebra. So she really does like a challenge. Now, we'd love to tell you all about the experiences that we've had with the big cats. We spend so much time with them. But have a look at a little bit of cub cuteness for the evening.
In all of nature, few are as adorable as a big cat cub. The contradiction between vulnerable cub and formidable predator makes these moments all the more special. Watching cubs grow is a delight second to none. Many of the skills cubs will need later in life, they develop playing with their siblings. Stalking, pouncing, chasing. and wrestling. Testing different cuisine is part of growing up, even if it is a grubby business. But each lesson learned gives them the experience they need to survive as adults. For lions, teamwork is essential. For the solitary leopard, it's stealth and instinct. For the cheetah, painstaking lessons teach their young the complicated skills required for chasing, killing, and eating. In the African wild, the road from cub to big cat is both risky and rewarding.
Now, from watching how little lion cubs learn to hone their skills, back live to me in South Africa with fat little lion cubs, who are so full from the kill that their mothers made that they're just basically resting on top of each other. Now, we have Luke Doller, the explorer for Nat Geo, who's an ecologist who is busy answering questions on Twitter that we can't get to live in the show, so don't forget about him. Ask lots of questions. Some will come through to me and some will go through over to Luke. Now, what I want you to notice is just how fat their bellies are. The male lions we saw earlier can fit about 55 pounds of meat into their bellies in one sitting. These little ones are much, much smaller than that, so they can probably do about 10 pounds, and that is what an engorged stomach looks like. So this Styx pride that we are sitting with here, their pride goes back about 25 years, and the name comes from the fact that they have killed so many species that they have sent them over the Styx River, thus the Styx Pride. Now, we have 3 sets of cubs here, ranging from just under a year to about 3 months old. There are 3 adult lionesses with this pride. We can see one on the left there. Elizabeth, really great question. You're asking if females find a dark mane a lot more attractive. So male lions will have a dark mane, a ginger mane, or a blonde mane. And the attractiveness goes with the fact that it depends on what area they're in. So some areas have the dark mane, some have the ginger mane, and some have the blonde mane. So the fullness of the mane is what's really the attractiveness. The bigger and fuller the mane with a slightly darker tinge, whether it's black or ginger or blonde, shows high testosterone levels, and that's what the females are after. Those will make good fathers. Now, we are going to go from our lazy fat lions here in South Africa all the way up to another group of lions in the Masai Mara in Northeast Africa with Taylor, who are busy on the move.
And Noel, our lions are not portraying that typical lazy behavior that they can show. Instead, this lioness is poised beautifully up on a termite mound, which she's using as a vantage point to scan across the long grass for any potential prey. Now, the Angama pride has got a massive territory out here in the Masai Mara National Reserve. You can see the Olololo escarpment just behind her, and their territory stretches all the way down to the Mara River, so they're around the northeastern corner. It is so beautiful. So it can be tricky at times to try and find these cats, but we managed. Now, a great question from Gabby. Thank you very much for sending that through. You're wondering which of the big cats are the most territorial. I'm going to have to go ahead and say the leopards, and the reason why I say this is because both male and female mark and defend territories, and it's quite exciting to watch if you are privileged enough to see a spotted cat. However, it's quite interesting out here in the Masai Mara. Something new that I've learned, a behavior which I've never seen before. You don't see the lions down in South Africa doing this, is that the lionesses typically have a home range. So what that means is that they move around wherever the prey may go, and you don't see them urinating or scent marking like the male lions do when they're on a territorial patrol. But the lionesses up here have to do There are so many prides of lions in the Masai Mara that it's important that they do advertise, not just with scent, but also vocally declare that there is a pride of lions living here. Otherwise, you'll get quite a bit of conflict. And it isn't just the males that fight. The female lions also will fight over space. Important. You got to have the best hunting ground, especially when you have got lots and lots of lion cubs to feed. James is still sitting down at Chitwa Dam, 1,600 miles away in South Africa, and it seems as though he wants to finish playing a game.
Well, I'm certainly sitting, but I'm not at the waterhole anymore. Before I tell you what I'm doing, I must just tell you, of course, very sadly, we lost the game called Where Am I? 61% of you said that waterbuck was in South Africa, and 39% of you need to do a little more studying. The waterbuck was indeed in South Africa. So, the way you could have told, of course, was just by looking at the background, and if we'd shown you the back end of the thing, then you would have seen that the South African waterbuck have got nice round white bottoms. Very attractive they are, and in East Africa they don't. They've got sort of two white pillars, if you like, on the backside. So in East Africa, the Defassa waterbuck, bog standard issue we get down here. Now, I am sitting over here in a place called Hosanna's Haunt. Hosanna is a young male leopard who likes to hang around in this area, and it is my fervent wish that we will be able to show you a leopard sometime during this show. Now, leopards are the most stealthy of our big cats. They love to live in areas like this, around the water and in the thick bush, sneaking up on unsuspecting prey, their magnificent dappled coats blending beautifully with the golden rays of dappled light that come through these areas. So that's what we're doing here. We're hoping to find this young leopard. He's just 2 years old in February. So we're going to have a quick look around here. While we do that, we're going to send you to another spotted cat and her two very, very hungry little cubs.
In a blink of an eye, while James waits in South Africa for Hosanna, the little chief, to show up, we are with a very sleepy Malaika. Obviously, all of the drama with the jackals this morning has exhausted our cheetah, but it does give us a chance to share a little bit of her backstory with you, because Malaika is a true character in the cheetah world, and one whose story is very, very well known. Our Malaika, and it's a really good example to give you an idea as to just how tough cheetah mothers have things out here. In her 10 years, she's had 28 cubs. Only 2 of them are still alive and adults, not counting her 2 teenage boys. Bawa and Malik are the only 2 offspring that Malaika has managed to raise. She's had 28 cubs. So these boys are her last chance, her major investment in life. Oh, she's up, she's looking at a Thompson's gazelle. There's the 2 boys behaving themselves very well. Ah, lovely to hear that Mita, who is 9 years old and one of our regular viewers, is watching today. Now, Mita wants to know who has the biggest teeth, the lion, the leopard, or the cheetah. Mita, the lion has the biggest teeth by far. So if Malaika gives us a big yawn, you might be able to see her teeth. Cheetah actually have quite small teeth when you compare them to a lion or a leopard. Remember how we spoke about the bite strength? Cheetah are not built for power, they are built for speed, and everything about them is perfectly designed. Those dark lines between their eyes help to reduce glare for a daytime hunter, a hunter that moves about in the sunrise and the sunset, and the dark eyes as well, so serious and brooding in Malaika. She's looking across at a group of small gazelle, Thompson's gazelle. She's thinking about it. She's calculating the risks. Everything is an equation for a cheetah. Every hunt uses an enormous amount of energy, so they have to plan out exactly what it is they're going to do. Now, while we watch Malaika, are out in full force, and they're sitting on the fur and the sensitive skin of her ears, and as a result she's twitching them almost unconsciously. It's basically a reflex reaction to things landing on her ears. And those ears, of course, incredibly sensitive, but of all of the big cats, it is the eyesight of the cheetah that is truly extraordinary. Now, while we wait for Malika to rest up and prepare for her hunt of the morning, let us head back across to Mr. Dyson, who is in South Africa and tracking big cats on foot.
Yes, we certainly are tracking big cats on foot. My name is Scott Dyson, and we feel like we are getting close to what we hope is a leopard. We know that you guys have been having a great morning with the other big cats, the cheetah and the lion, and I hope Malika and her two boys get up soon and show you just how fast they are. Now, we heard some growls earlier. We're still moving through this general area, hoping to find out what it is. First prize would be some leopards mating, and when leopards mate, it's quite a ferocious affair. They growl and slash at one another, and I think that is what we heard. And if we can find you guys some leopard mating, it will be the cherry on the top. Hello, Matt. You'd like to know if I ever feel afraid walking? And yes, it's certainly good to be cautious and have a bit of natural fear of these animals, because you can get into some dangerous situations. So we're moving quite slowly through this thick bush. Wait, I heard something again. I'm not too sure what it was. It could have been another growl. Let me listen some more. Now, we're going to keep moving forward. Keep it down. I'm feeling confident whatever is here is nearby. You guys have to shoot off for a short break, but stay tuned. This is Safari Live. Where are these things? It's so thick in here. That makes it tricky to move too quickly. But we are getting closer to whatever it is that's growling. And I hope it's a leopard. Come on. Who knows, maybe it's Tundi trying to defend her cub in a possibly new den site. We are in that general area. So we're going to continue to scour this undergrowth. Hopefully we're going to get lucky and send you all the way back up to the Masai Mara, where a lot of the awesome action is unfolding this morning, and you're going to be joining Taylor. See you a bit later.
Hello again, everybody. We're still sitting here with our lions, waiting for them to make a move, although I'm not convinced they've seen anything just yet. It's difficult though, although not like I can see through the grass. But like Manu just said to me, Manu, what did you just say? You're waiting for a warthog? Antenna. There we go. Waiting for a warthog antenna to be spotted through the long grass. I don't know if they've woken up just yet. Normally there's plenty warthogs in the area, but also the lions have been roaring right throughout the night. So possibly they've scared away some of the prey. But who knows, they might come back into this area again. And I've also been checking up on the escarpment, because that's where they killed the zebra yesterday. And I have not seen any zebra or topi just yet. But again, it's only just starting to warm up now, so the animals might become a little bit more active in a little while. Although they better hurry up, lions, we don't have much time left. This is a live show. I think they forget this sometimes. And there's one of our masts just up on the top that helps put where all the satellites and things go, and radio repeaters and all those wonderful things. Just trying to figure out where these cats are going to go after this. It's been so much fun sitting up with them. It was really incredible having two different herds of elephants come through and charge at these lions. It was quite interesting. They didn't get up and run away, which I was pretty amazed by. They stayed low down, and they just sort of growled and roared back at the elephants, which was really cool. I haven't quite seen it where lions have to try and deter elephants from charging through them, have actually roared back at them. So that was really interesting to see. It was a very loud evening between Manu's snoring and I'm just joking. That's so funny. No, we didn't get much sleep, but because it was so exciting. Every time we wanted to put our heads down on the pillows, and we thought, okay, they're going to settle down now after the elephant saga. Then the Chitwa boys came charging in. I actually just dozed off, and the next minute I briefly was telling you the story, and then I heard all these lions running past the car, and then those boys were in. And they were not happy with the girls, but they have not moved forward with the pride. The girls have given them a slip now. And maybe they were just popping through to just check up on the lionesses. They have been very busy boys, though. They've been bouncing between the marsh breakaways and the Angama pride. So they've been doing quite a bit of walking around. And most nights we've been hearing a lot of roaring as well. So I wonder what's happening. With all the nomadic lions around, I'm sure we're going to have some conflict soon. Some young boys getting themselves into a little bit of trouble with the more established male lions. Where did she go? Into the long grass. Nobody knows. Oh, never mind. She just climbed up to the next termite mound. There she is, Manu. Sneaky. It's crazy. It's quite difficult to keep an eye out on these cats. But they're doing a sterling job this morning. The lions are behaving very, very, very well. The cubs have also made their way towards the pride, but sort of hanging back, just hanging back. Woo! So there we go. Nikki, obviously she's one of our directors. She has just said that hashtag Safari Live is trending on Twitter. Good job, everybody. Keep tweeting away. Tweet, tweet, tweet as many questions as you can, because we have got only how much time left? 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. Lions, you've got 20 minutes. I'm doing a big stretch now, just in case anyone was wondering. Oh, it feels so good. I'm going to sit very quietly now because we're going to go back to TV. So I must behave. Welcome back to your live African safari. We're sitting in the middle of the Masai Mara National Reserve with the pride of lions known as the Angamas, and we've been following them now for the last 2 days. We only have 20 minutes left of this live safari, so get your questions in. So hashtag Safari Live on Twitter. It would be great to hear from all of you. I know that all the other guides out in South Africa as well as across the river would love to hear from you, especially if you've got any questions about lions and a cheetah. Now, our cats haven't made any progress just yet, but look how tall that grass is. You know, they get me excited because they turn and they look behind and then they quickly disappear in the grass and they pop up onto the next termite mound. So I think that they're hoping as they slowly move in a long line, they'll flush out something. Now, good morning, Russell. Fantastic question from you. Wondering how often do the male lions hunt with the females? It just depends if they're in the vicinity when the lionesses are hunting. Remember, the males don't stay with the prides of lions. They move around and have other prides that they need to go and visit too. So they've got a much larger territory than the core territory that the females will have. You can also see there's a safari vehicle out just in the back on the right-hand side. So we are in the Masai Mara National Reserve, and there's lots of tourists who have come on safari to see the big cats of Africa. This is very, very exciting. You can see another one just at the top. So it depends whether the males are around or not, but they do a lot of hunting themselves. Right, Scott is down on bushwalk, one of the most dangerous things to do in South Africa. He is looking for all sorts of wonderful things. Let's go see if he's found them.
We found what the noise was. It's certainly not the spotted cat we were hoping to find. It's two warthog bulls, or boars rather, having a fight. So, isn't that funny? We thought we were on the trail of some predators, but we still have an interesting scene unfolding here. And we do actually need to be cautious. These animals have got very sharp tusks. Let's see if we can move around and get you a better visual. think we're going to be able to get a spot here. They're so engrossed in their own fight that it is also a good opportunity for predators to sneak up on them and catch them. So if there is a leopard in this area, we've got a good chance of actually seeing them nab one of these warthogs on foot. Now we're going to get some better views. They really are having a go at one another, and that was the strange noises we were hearing earlier. So very happy that we managed to get you some views of these guys, but not the leopard we were hoping for. Isn't this incredible? You don't very often get to see wild animals having a full-blown fight like this. And like I said, they're incredibly powerful animals, these warthogs, and they've got razor-sharp tusks that come out of their bottom jaw, and they can cause not only a lot of damage to themselves and us, but also the predators that attack them. The pig fights. Who would have thought that's what we were on the trail of? Still interesting, and that is the joy of being on safari. You just never know what you are going to bump into, and this is a classic example of that. Now that we've worked out what that noise was, we're going to continue our search and hopefully find you guys that leopard. The clock is ticking, but we are hot on their trail, so I'm feeling confident, and while we continue our search, we're going to send you back to James.
Yes, the clock is indeed ticking, but please keep talking to us using the hashtag Safari Live on Twitter for the rest of our show. And remember, Luke Dollar, emerging Nat Geo Explorer, is answering your questions now. I am standing up here in a tree underneath something called a leopard orchid. Now, of course, Tundi's kill you saw in the tree earlier today, and Tristan hoping that she's going to pitch up at the den before the end of the show. Why am I standing up here? Well, it's recently come to my notice that Scarlett Johansson was separated from her last long-term relationship just in September. Now, this leopard orchid has the most wonderful traditional use. You chew it, spit it out by the light of the full moon, which was some time back, but we'll go with it anyway, and say the name of the one you want. Scarlett Johansson, and she will immediately start thinking of you. Now, I've been eating canes from the leopard orchid for nigh on 17 years now, and I'm hoping that with the advent and increased reach of Safari Live and social media, finally my dreams will come true. Now, it is, of course, called a leopard orchid on account of the fact that it has got beautiful little yellow flowers with brown spots on them. Now, as I try to get out of this tree without killing myself, we're going to hand you back to Brent, I believe it is, with some small cubs. I think that's what we're going to see now.
Well, James is just talking about leopard dens. We've just found a lion den. We went looking for leopard, and that's the joy of being on a live safari. You never know what you're going to find. There are 6 tiny little cubs. Isn't this absolutely amazing? A little bit to the right, there's a couple out in the open. They're probably about 8 weeks old. Look at the little bundles of joy. They're just so cute. Oh my goodness. Where are you off to? Follow Mom. Now we want to keep our distance, so we're keeping a nice respectful distance from the little guys. You can see Mom's got a full belly, so she's been doing well. And then she keeps the cubs hidden in thickets like this. We can hear her talking just to the cubs, just little contact calls. Isn't this absolutely amazing? That's the joy of being live. You never know what's going to happen. Okay, now we're going to... Oh, it looks like the cubs might be coming back towards Mom. Now, Animal is wondering, how do you know how old a lion cub is? Sorry, guys, you might hear some other cars around us, but we are live in the National Reserve. So, there we go. Now, it's very difficult. You just basically look at their size and the formation of the fluff on the tip of their tail, or also their ears. But I'd say these ones are probably 8 weeks to 10 weeks old, so still very, very little. They're probably spending a lot of time alone while Mom's hunting in thickets just like this. Now, of course, cubs are just some of the most wonderful things, and isn't this amazing? They've made an appearance live on Big Cat Week. And speaking of cubs, we've got some wonderful cubs to show you.
For the world's most adorable creature, a lion cub, life begins with the protection and affection of the pride. Mother and aunts will give love and milk to the young cats. But danger is everywhere in the African wild. In a father's discipline. In a disease the young are too weak to fight off. Even the most loving mother can become victim, unable to help her cub in its time of need. The wilderness is fraught with lessons. Some perilous, some playful. Little lions must learn to hunt dangerous prey with adult supervision. It takes a lot of courage and a bit of luck to grow into Africa's most formidable predator.
Welcome back alive here in South Africa with 3 of the 4 little 3-month-old Styx cubs trying very hard to get access to a nipple. It's not going overly well. Mom is not super keen to nurse. She is being very, very, very grumpy, but I'm assuming it has a lot to do with the fact that they have tiny little teeth that are quite painful for her to nurse with. So while we're busy waiting to see if she lets these little ones have a meal, let's head back to Scott, who has some fighting warthogs.
Yes, we couldn't resist staying with these fighting warthogs in the hope that there's some predators nearby that have caught wind of them. Oh, it looks like the warthogs have sensed something. I'm not sure if it's us. They certainly haven't looked in our direction. They could have smelt us, or maybe they've caught wind of a predator, and it's highly, highly likely that any predator that was nearby would have known that these 2 males were so engrossed with one another's fight that they could get very, very close to them and it would be a very, very easy meal. Now, areas that I've been checking is up on this termite mine behind us. That would be a perfect place for a leopard or a lion to creep up, get advantage of the situation, but sadly no big cat has popped onto the scene that we can see yet. So I think now that the warthogs have moved off, no predators have come in to take a chance of that easy meal, we can now continue on our search. Exciting stuff, and can't believe all the action that's unfolding. Brent found that lion den, who would have thought? And now we're going to send you back to Jamie and her cheetah. Who knows, maybe they'll get up and start hunting for you soon.
Back across to the Masai Mara, where we have the lovely Malaika taking a lovely morning rest in the glowing golden sunlight. It is an absolutely stunning scene. She's waiting patiently as the animals move around her. I've seen a few little Thompson's gazelle go past. There is, rolled over. There was a herd of zebra that was wandering about, and I think that Malaika is just waiting for her opportunity. Now, don't forget to keep sending through those questions. We are nearly at the point of being out of time to answer them. So hashtag Safari Live on Twitter is how you're going to get hold of us. If we don't have time to answer your question, Luke Dollar, who is a Nat Geo emerging explorer, has taken over their Twitter page and will be answering for you. So while we wait for our lovely Malaika to get up and perhaps creep up on something, it sounds like Steph all the way in South Africa is on foot creeping up on some elephants.
We are definitely creeping up on some elephant, and excuse my whisper, but we're in the most dangerous, most exposed place right here. We've got a herd of elephant easily 20 or 30 strong, and we've got very little cover and very little elevation here. We've got elephants surrounding us. If you come and have a look a little bit closer here with me, we've got trees shaking in the distance.
Steph is unbelievably brave to be so close to those elephants. Those little lion cubs would be very scared of them. Remember, this is live, and the patience has paid off. They've come out of the thickets with Mom and are jumping around and playing all they are. Now, I know my good friend James Henry also says he thinks lion cubs are the cutest of all cubs, and I think so. I think so too. But let's find out what you think. A one-word tweet about how cute these lion cubs are. Hashtag little lion cubs are scrumptious. And there we go. They're busy playing around Mom's feet. Oh, it's just so precious. Now, there are 6 of them, and they all look to be from the same female, which is quite unusual to have a litter this big. Oh, they're having the best time chasing each other. They are so cute. Oh, those little ones are disappearing down. There's still one out, but I'm pretty sure if Mom... Oh, wait, I'm going to keep quiet. She's doing that little contact call. I don't know if you guys can hear it. Hi, Terry. Terry's wondering, how close am I to the lions? Terry, I'm about 30 meters or so not too far away at all. Well, there we go. Mom's legs and tail are the best fun. Attack! Attack! So she's obviously returned after making a kill somewhere last night to come check on the cubs. It looks like they've already fed this morning. They've got lovely round little tummies. Oh, there's another one charging in from the front. There we go. But all this running and... Now, Mom is heading down into the thicket. They're probably going to follow her. She will move dens every couple of days. Oh, let's have a look. Oh, it's going to attack the bush quickly. We've still got 2 little ones that haven't dived down into the thicket just yet. And we're going to enjoy every moment with these absolutely gorgeous little cubs. This is just too special. As I said, little lion cubs, absolutely scrumptious. Let's see what James Henry, with his large vocabulary, thinks about it.
My word for little lion cubs is innocence. I think they're the most wonderfully innocent creatures. Let's go to the microscope feed quickly. We've got an amazing creature digging down into the sand. And it is, in keeping with the theme of Big Cat Week, an ant lion. Now, I captured it here, and I've put it in a little box, and it's now digging itself a conical pit. And once it's done that, it will use those rather intimidating looking little pincers on its front end to catch ants and devour them. The most interesting thing about that, of course, is that it turns into this gorgeous creature here, which isn't so gorgeous. It's a bit desiccated now. Quite nice. All right, let's go quickly across to Steph on his elephants.
Now we've had warthog fighting today. We've had new lion cubs. We've got 2 elephant bulls having a fight. They're wrestling with one another. They're teenagers. We're 50 yards away from Africa's largest land mammal. Yeah, during this Big Cat Week special. So it's been a really awesome day. Don't forget, we are live, and that's why I'm whispering at the moment. These are, in my opinion, Africa's most dangerous animals to approach on foot. We've got this little bit of cover right here, giving us what little protection we can. But we're lucky the elephant's eyesight is down to their feet, and so without the elephant looking up, won't see us. Now, SC Knight, you'd like to know how often do elephant run into lions? I'd say quite often, SC Knight. They all share the same space. Lion are not scared of elephant, elephant are not scared of lion. And quite often you'll find that they'll investigate one another. Lion in some parts of Africa even hunt elephant. Now these 2 young bulls, okay, they're coming this way. Let's hope they don't come all the way through. Alright. We need to get to a bit of a safe zone. So we're going to be shooting you to a much different country. much safer, at least, with Brent and those lion cubs.
Okay, we're just moving to get you the last view of these absolutely stunning cubs. They're going to walk right towards us. There we go. Look at this. All of them with mom. Oh, this is just too special. It absolutely melts my heart. Remember, this is 100% live, 100% unscripted, coming to you from the magnificent Masai Mara. And Steph, who's with the elephants on foot, says his one-word tweet is precious. Oh, gorgeous. Now, hasn't this been wonderful? This has been Big Cat Week. And it has been so special to be able to share these big cats live with you from Africa. Now, if you like cheetahs, remember up next is Cheetah, Man Among Cheetah, back and also not too far from us here in the Mara with Bob. But for now, we're just going to enjoy these absolutely stunning lion cubs. Now, remember, if you like big cats, you can join us every day for a live safari. All you need to do is just type in Safari Live into your search engine, and you will find us. For 6 hours a day, we will bring you live wildlife. But for now, let's just enjoy this tender moment between these lion cubs. And from all of us here at Safari Live, good night, goodbye.